Red Rewind Part 2 by KB HURST. As you may have guessed, the alarm went off yet again. My body aches for a pain that I had not experienced in this new timeline. I sat up and went to shower, then made some coffee. I didn't care that in all other scenarios, I'd woken up just before sunrise and managed to satisfy my hunger. Just before I died. I needed to regroup. I needed to spend the day going out on July 4th, 1986. I loathed that part of me, whatever part of me ended up in this time loop. I decided to sit down on my sofa. I sat and I sat some more, just thinking. I'd chosen this timeline not to kill anyone. Instead, I pulled out some home movies. I was watching this particular one. It was a good one. Last month, I met a pretty girl on a road trip. She'd been hitchhiking. She was up for anything. We had some good chats, but my desires were stronger than hers. I'd slid off her top. She'd looked at me in shock at first, but she wasn't mad. Instead, she kissed me. I'd been caught off guard by it. We had sex in the back of my rental. The van that had nice seats was spacious and smelled new. When it was over, I thought I'd keep her around. She was fun. I looked at her tank top. She had a vest, cut-off jean shorts, and her hair, a dirty blonde, feathered in a perfect little placement on top of her head. Then she laughed. Your dick is crooked. A lot of guys leaned to one side. Who cares? She didn't drop it. She continued laughing, and then it happened. I struck her face, and she hit the side of the van with a sound so loud I was sure something broke. What the fuck? She started to get angry. She stood up, but fell over trying to get out of the van. I turned on my camera at this exact moment. She wandered around for a bit. It was like she had no sense of direction. I sat down while I watched. I recorded her. Then I stood up and tossed her clothes to her. I laughed. Who's funny now? She attempted to pull on her shorts and stumbled into the grass. I got bored. I sat my camera down. I recall only this part from the movie I'd made of it. I'd forgotten it, actually. How was it possible? I watched, wondering what would happen next. Please just let me go. Yeah, go. I'm not stopping you, I said. But I can't get dressed. Can't you help me? It's the least you can do. I like this part. What are you saying? I like watching. She'd managed to get her shorts on. Her top was next. And after she was dressed, she looked for her bag. I let her go. I watched her run down the long stretch of road. The only thing left was the sound of birds in the distance. I watched her disappear. An hour or so later, I got in my van. I pulled out the camera. This was the best part. I took about 20 minutes, and then I found her, stumbling along the stretch of highway. I slowed my van. She looked forward. How dare she ignore me? Patty! Fuck off. How did you even find me? Patty, you stupid bitch. You left your driver's license in the back of my van, where you let me put my crooked dick in you. Just go away. Look, I'm sorry I said those things to you. No, you're not. She was scared now. She was trembling, but pretending not to care. I took out my camera. I lay it on the front of the van. I turned up the dial on the radio, and then I chased her. I caught up with her rather quickly. There wasn't much blood after, as there usually was. It was fast. I had taken her clothes off after then I took them with me. Trophies, I guess, you might say. But now began the disposal. I didn't turn the camera off. Somewhere between the chase and chopping limbs and the tall grass near the highway, a deserted highway, I might add. There were no people around for miles, just like I liked it. But just enough that if there was a chance that someone could come up, it was the thrill in a way. There's something thrilling about it, that I could get caught at any minute, but I didn't. I never did. So I left the camera running. I always came prepared. I put the bits of her I needed forgotten in a garbage bag. I left the torso. Figured it would give them something to find. They love a good mystery. Cops, detectives, whoever. But they'd never find her. And they'd never identify the body either. Carrying her hands, feet, and head, I suddenly felt annoyed. I watched this now from the view of someone tired of feeling like this. I enjoyed killing, but I also knew there was always a chance that I could be caught. I turned off the video. I was tired. I could hear fireworks in the distance. I watched from my patio door. I cracked open a beer. I'd hoped that the loop was over today. I'd been a good boy. No murders, no mayhem, just me and a movie and a beer and some fireworks that my neighbor was letting off in the distance. I went to bed. The alarm went off. I looked at my clock. July 4th, 4 a.m. Fuck! Now I was angry. Now I was tired. I sat up in bed. Perhaps I was meant to kill her. But maybe I needed to not get caught. Possibly it was still my fate to kill her. Regardless of the outcome. Why else would I keep repeating this stupid fucking day? I watched Sandy. No matter how many times I'd done this, I always got a strange tingle in my stomach. It was exciting to see her and know that I might see her again. Her eyes opened. Now was the time. I jumped on her, but she was prepared for me this time. Not this time, sicko, she said, managing to twist her hands into my pants, twisting my dick in her hands. I screamed from the pressure. She dug her fingers into my flesh as if she was trying to rip it off of me. Sandy looked me dead in the eyes, and she smiled. My eyes met hers. I now knew she knew this was going to happen. Was she stuck in the same loop as I was? I screamed in pain, and I managed to escape her grip. She picked something up. I felt her hit me in the face, and the world went black. I woke up, tied to a chair. Sandy was standing over me, holding a knife. I looked down. There was blood coming from my groin. All at once, I knew she had done something. I hoped she hadn't cut off any organs. Hey, loser. Eyes up here. I watched her for a moment. Guys like you are the reason that there are chicks like me. I just don't get it. I've seen you in my dreams over and over again. You always come for me, and I never see it coming. But now I see everything. Marvin, I realized with trepidation that I was in a red room. My eyes were trying to focus. Then I realized it wasn't painted red at all. It was blood. I looked at the floor of what I assumed must have been a basement. There were bodies. Well, parts of bodies all over the floor. Then I smelled it. Well, this has been fun, but I need to get ready for Stacy's little 4th of July barbecue. You know how it is. She held up a knife and went to stab me in the chest, but she stopped abruptly. Oh, you think I should do what? Huh. Oh, I love my brain. It's so creative. In one stroke, she stabbed me in the eye. Not enough to kill me. She stuck her knife inside my eye socket and then pulled it out. It hung on the tip of the knife. I knew I was screaming, but I wasn't sure why, because I couldn't hear myself. My eyeball was shattered into a mushy mess. Sandy took one of her fingers and began to wiggle into the eye socket until what was left of my eyeball was in her hand. Then she laughed. I began to cry and beg. Oh, are you sad? Don't worry. Pretty soon I'll get out the other eye, and then you won't be able to see or hear what I'm going to do to you. Oh, wait. Spoil alert. I'm going to make you deaf, too. Sandy took a sharp tool and began to slowly stick it inside my eardrum. I screamed as whatever she did scraped and clawed at the inside of my ear until I could no longer hear anything else. How was I still alive? Sandy stabbed the other side of my ear as I begged for death. Then, much to my bitter pain, she danced all around me. But then I saw her laughing and pointing at me in almost a clown-like exaggeration. Like she was putting on some kind of performance. But for who? It was just me and her. The final blow came swiftly. I felt her stab me again, this time in my leg. I felt the incision, and then everything went black again. I believe I woke up. Oh, woke is a hard way to express, considering my ears and my eyes were both missing in action. I became aware of being conscious. I knew I was no longer tied up. I was on the floor from what I could tell, and it was cold. It felt like concrete on my backside. I went to feel for my surroundings when I realized I had no fucking arms. A complete panic swept over me. I tried to move, but there was no legs. No legs? Oh, the pain. That's when I felt utter and complete pain all over my body. Sandy, that bitch had cut off my arms, my legs, and took my hearing and both my eyes. I nearly threw up, but I slowly felt the world going away. I felt softness. Then I drifted away permanently. The alarm went off. 4 a.m., July 4th, 1986. I woke up screaming this time. I looked down to find I had legs. I had my arms. I could see and I could fucking hear, and it was beautiful. But the day had repeated again. I was still stuck in this loop. I wondered about Sandy. Wondered if she was stuck in this loop too. To be continued.